Relying on your collective skills, knowledge, and experience, we should be able to create a more predictable, attractive, and smart economy. I'm very optimistic that we should be able to leverage on the potential of our youth, the acumen and sense of enterprise of our businessmen and women, and the knowledge of our renowned scientists and researchers to advance the fortunes of our country. I'm aware that the NDPC is happily leading a process to localize the African Continental Free Trade Area with the provision of guidelines and capacity development program for the District Assembly. It is therefore my expectation that you will offer sound advice to government on these matters of importance to national development within the framework of your mandate. I further expect that you will synchronize and harmonize the multiple frameworks for our national development.
Omampani na nado dankwa Akufo-Addo eno no wiye no na board chairman Professor George Jambafo enso kasa na o omampani bo se gidi omampani anya ewo omumu no wo mu de omakoma omadwene omunyansa nyina be ye adwuma no ama omanchichire ayehwe no yesaka.
Mr. President, let me commend you for having put together such a high-powered team of development thinkers reflecting your concern for competence and inclusive development. As you know, the membership of this commission represents a very rich and diverse development brains in the country. Here assembled, as you rightly stated earlier, are representatives from all the 16 regions, very diverse group of people representing country. So Your Excellency, on behalf of my fellow commissioners and on behalf of the Director General and the NDPC Secretariat, once again, thank you so very much for the honor that you've done us this afternoon and to inform you that we have accepted the responsibility placed on us with all humility.
Any amuti ye Professor George Jambafo wabaye board chairman Ediama National Development Planning Commission no ene ba kron abajoko no eno mampani adi animu a wapa wo hontumi
na di chiemu no ama ne boy aba beto mountain so no na ebi ni se bimbila potamo kokopie mo wonu aposi adwumakuo no wonu ani abre ama ene wonu chirim se wo pekwane obefa so na nipa bonfo ya wonu edi wo manfo ani wonu ma asetena anyo wo manfo a wonu bimbila ne potamo ede ni ade no obepekwane obefa so na watimi atu wonu santi wonu dwumadie emu no operation ba ko bi e ko so no anadwo ba bi na antie chirim se owura bia ni din enimbe Osman ya wadi mfinshi abese eduasa etuo eka no ade achi ye no na ene nam se owura no uafiri mu ato ananom ewonse do ahyase no amane boni kire mu atuo ne kan ne saa no onumba omoden ma ne so ede no ekokopiem ewo bimbila aya sabia na honum kokoduri na ano ode won se ebo akire nti ebo akire ma wode ko tamale abankire cha ya sabia kire tamale teaching hospital na antie kire mu se owura no akwa akogemu aya sabia onom nanso nwumre yi no ensanjrofo bo modin busubusu ma na enkiremu a abusuade ma kiremu se omde hye no nyame adom owonkwam ya oja ya hwe enya se de binum eka so afiri mu no na abusuani ba ko ne din ni Fuseni Muhammad Sanko ya wone yanam sini ya wo bimbila no reporter mu ni retain Ibrahim edin komo na okire ensemu no yentie no
evening that there was a military raid in the new market. And so our brother, according to him, reported to have been returning from the farm and mistakenly passed there on his way home to Kunkuna, the area he stays, only for him to realize that that was what was happening in the new market. Then as everybody was running helter-skelter for life, he also decided to abandon the motorbike he was riding and ran away. And it was in this process he was shot from behind and the bullet got his left lumbar region, and so it is a penetrating wound anyway, so it came in from one end and the bullet is alleged to have moved from one side out again. So he was referred from the Bimbla Government Hospital to the Tamale Teaching Hospital for further management, and around 11 p.m. in the night he was around here and we commenced treatment. God being good, he's stable and doing well this morning. The medical officer has asked us to come over to the scan center to do abdominal pellet to establish whether the pellets, some are still there, and also establish whether some internal structures were damaged as a result of the bullet. So this is how far we are. But for stability, the gentleman is very stable, and I discount rumors all over that he is dead. He is never dead. He is alive and kicking. Thank you.
Yeah.
That there was this national security operatives in town, and they were raiding drug addicts and weed smokers. And so that was through this operation he found himself. So it's alleged that it's the national security operation, and so it's the national security operatives. And indeed, I also would have felt confirmed that because this morning the national security regional operatives were around to see how our patient was doing. So indirectly, they are part of it.
So
these people you have mentioned, I'm told, according to my sources, are on a schedule in Upper West, far away in Oyerepa.
Yo, we Busiani Mohammed, and what is answer to Jana? Busiani for Franco in some to Ja. And one the watchers want to ask and say, and they want you and they said, my bambo for no. Dear Kwa and answer a quack, Worum this year no, Mbe Osmano, and Kwa no Mutu, woman in this his way.
I wanted to find out what the guy did before he was shot. The man who did that, who prompted him or who has authorized him to do that. And also I want to know his identity, even though I can't do anything to him or we can't do anything, but just to know what has brought about all this. Because we have our leaders over there too. Maybe they might have instructed them to go and then take the action that they have taken. The man should be booked. They shouldn't just leave him free, even though.
Yo, enti na emunsam anu nyame de no ase se owura no se de na ntia kire se wafiri no omfiri na owon kwam.
Honorable Samuel Atachia na yemra se badwani ewo Abuakwa South abazo mpesa so ewo apuemantem na wo de atodwa se emode na nado dan kwa akufo ado abopa no aban bi ani ho a wabo bi sada na asem nyina ne se ohwe bra COVID-19 ba ye no Oma bia eka womo na so na nado gina ne naso ye ntotoye bonkum ne fa kwa habai ama wiese nyina no ye pamampanifo a womo yade pa wo COVID-19 bremu a na nado ka ho bi oso ka ne penye prefa o ne sense ne bo se wo hwe jeje oba ye na obenya mfinhie dunkron saje fu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah betena so no wo nyina bre so yare bi se ama o yare sangranga se COVID-19 ti e bi ama so botwefa wo mbo na nado de COVID-19 nyina chi no aish wa ya adwuma pa.
The devastating and calamitous effects of that international demon, as it were, the COVID-19. In paragraphs 22 and 23 at page 12, the minister said that our economic fortunes plummeted when we were hit by the COVID-19. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit that Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was never hit by COVID. Indeed and in fact, our dear flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings, who ruled Ghana for close to 19 years, was never hit by COVID. Mr. Speaker, strong leadership is measured by the gargantuan and sometimes the elephantine problems one tackles and solves. It is on record that although we were in a COVID environment, no one single worker in the public sector was laid off. And economy had the shock absorbers to continue. This is an eloquent testimony of the exemplary and quality leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Na Honorable Samuel Atachia Manswa o kire sa ndisi abraso no omu tuetue sika bi rough basa tantantan ya ono ohunu se emfaso bi amaso ama Ghana na wo masa bo maika causing financial loss to the state.
Amount to causing financial loss to the state. Honorable Speaker, this obtuse and weird arrangement has cost the nation huge sums of money and by extension infrastructure development, which is schools, hospitals, roads, and factories. Mr. Speaker, here is a criminal waste of the nation's money as a result of the obnoxious take-or-pay arrangement. In the year 2019, regarding the take-or-pay arrangement, we paid to the independent power producers 5.4 billion Ghana cedis. In the year 2020, we paid the independent power producers 6.8 billion Ghana cedis. And this year, 2021, from January to September, we have paid them 5.8 billion, which is 17.6 billion Ghana cedis in total. Madam Speaker, I did some arithmetic. If you put together the budget of this great house and that of roads and health, what we have paid out in these criminal arrangements is in the sum of 17.6, and the total of the budget of this house, the roads, ministry and health, is 15.5 billion, and that is sad indeed. Brother Speaker, I am glad.
Any amuti ye Honorable Samuel Atachia ono na ye MP Abuakwa South.
Na ania na ninua Kwabena Donko onso pru abato besuaso brashe adwane brebi atwa mu wana na yeso afa na omanga na hodene nsam na wada no mampani dada joma mamamu abranu emu no owura Kwabena Donko ania wakase dibro nyawie na dumso ontimi nso ano a odindi bra beto no obehoro san ampa dibro nyawie ye dumso no afekra na wamia nani ye pa ti akoko ba sa no se dabi mingumi hu ani ma se dabi ada ani papa no otu ni wade so rosan yampa na o yamrashe adwane di ma wanfa won ewo pro abato mbesua so wona wo kasai ni semrashe adwafie ma ko masika ya na otwetwa mu no ni nyafo kan no for yata koken kan ye enwa bobo de frase ye koso na nde to so mienu a onum bobo ho ni ade no ano nso akasa de afa no ochirim se ha adwen pa ha se besi sabre yaban no nya na adwen se buipa authority no obomoden e de akwa akwache voter river authority no won ana afia ton je kura nso a wo se eba ahoden ne fa ho no akwane a efa so ejeje to ne ho sika jeje ne ade no ne fa wo ho sika sem ne ade no ensheda nkoye enso abanya na adwen se wotenani ahwe akomasika budget e ba ye no bibia ankyere sa aban no otu anama obi afa sa eniema yi ho
the building of other hydro plants in 2022. Mr. Speaker, intentions are cheap. No one is built for intentions. But Mr. Speaker, there are onerous duties that a government has to carry out. What has happened to the intention of consolidating Bui into VRA? Mr. Speaker, coal thermal plant with 160 head plate capacity is bigger than Bui power. And yet there's a whole bureaucracy, a board management, a whole bureaucracy around Bui. What stops us, Mr. Speaker, if we are looking for effectiveness and efficiency from consolidating Bui into VRA hydro? Mr. Speaker, we are into e-tax because revenue collection cannot keep pace with expenditure. And yet I saw nothing in this budget, Mr. Speaker, as I take my seat. Nothing in this budget to improve efficiency and effectiveness of revenue collection, even in the petroleum subsector. The waste in the subsector has not been tagged on.
Ntika ya body hono, wow. Nya de se yafa ho adwene tu ho anamo. Na osan so de nsam to dwa kyerem se owura aka for yata so afọ ye ohwe sika sem to so ne ho kontabu o de nsam bia to dwa aka se mrahye adwafo no asan ase anaso o de onsa ase age atum se National Petroleum Corporation ya ma green light bi se aka energy 37% iya nkonkoto se yankofa nso o se enya nokra mrahye adwafo onum ma green light bia
Deep water Cape 3 points of South Deepwater Cape 3 Point. Mr. Speaker, I want to put on record that Parliament never granted this approval. Mr. Speaker, I am really amazed, mesmerized, worried that such a major policy decision could go into the budget statement. Mr. Speaker, what this Parliament did was to give the Ministers of Energy and Finance, and by implication GMPC, the nod to go and negotiate a price and report back to this House for approval. Mr. Speaker, the handout of 6 August 2021 attests to this. In fact, I may even quote what my brother and friend Honorable K.T. Hammond said on the day. On ACE, we said this House, and it was a joint committee report, joint committees of finance and mines and energy, that yes, in principle, we're giving you permission to go and negotiate a price and report back to this House with terms and conditions for approval. In terms of the loan, we did not even consider the loan because we said we had not even gotten there. So for the budget to say Parliament had given approval over to GMPC to acquire 37.
Na Ura Keti Hammond, Onunya for Kwabnata Hero Hammond once adansi asukwa abato mbesu aso oye mbrase odwani onso waba aban abaso pa o kire se enei se wo hwe budget ye ba ye no aban ye no wanya hunu kan kwasi bromba ka so wanya foresight ze wa hwe hunu animu ehunu akirikira bo awura da ache no eno adwene etu anamo bie wo kire se enei aban no atimi ehunu se ye fam go ye ayetu no wentimi ntina ono go si afebo ye da te se ni aye tutututu a be senti se eto no ye se ho nkwa na ye be je no ne benya ska fro nkwa da achi bi no ene ye de nsa be hye de merifam pa be wi do kono kwa enti se aban ni tu anamo ahodo na wageto afri mia foforo ye a enye fam go emu a ya anamo pa aban no sa abaso.
When it comes to the economy, it was so simple as a champion used to say those days. But you can simply just print some money, infuse the economy with new money, printed currency. We grew up to know that that was not the case. We'd always be used to petroleum being the focal, the pivotal, the fulcrum for generating income for the economy. Our president at COP26 made it clear that we, the developing countries, have just this last few years made our discoveries. The world is now forcing us to abandon our resources. We're no longer going to have petroleum resources as the milk cow. It therefore stands to reason that will broaden our scope of raking in more resources. Look at everything in the budget talks about development, infrastructure, and whatever. But look at, isn't it the Ghanaian, particularly the Akan adage that it is on Kwanche or Kwache, I wouldn't be very sure which it is. But Kwanche or Kwache, they discard here.
On Munyamfo Kwabna Tahir Hammond, Mbrasho Johnny, the more man for one more adanse Asukwaba to Besiaso. Nedi any at ye, Sir Quachia DFS Quanchain, Nina, Cheche, Yadisika, and Nidia no.
Mantifido Pueman Temu, Upper is Regional Connecticut Council 24, Asia. Ama Honorable 7 Yakubu Oya Regional Minister, Umina Aqua Pambia, Omasijinaye. Nensa da chase aseme nyina ne sem efi na ye no damu a ye kasai ekonom batakari fugu boku memo de obi antimi hye bi ye mo bi anhye e wo boku kuro na mu wo mo kire se nansen basabasa e bi koso e wo mpatam ho na hwemu kyerɛ sɛ batakari no na amanfo di bɔne paa batakari no wɔn hyɛ ne saa obi wɔ no ma otimi hyɛ ebi a t-shirt ɛwɔ fam na t-shirt wakeka hyɛ na tag no mu ɔde ahoma na bɔ so nti wɔde etuo ne nneɛma bi ɛhyɛ t-shirt no mu kyerɛ sɛ kane ne yɛkɔ yɛwɔ krase na yɛkɔ afom na yɛkɔ wianka na wode wakeka ataade na ɛhyɛ inside no ahyɛ deɛ onika num na wabɔ so pɔ na de anka na hyɛ wɔkyi saa ntimi nyingu no ma hyɛ batakari na gu so enti wana wa wɔyɛ kutu bɛka sɛ batakari na otwa ne ho ana yɛ sɛ otwa ne ho ana yɛ sɛ ɔboa akonde na ɛhyɛ wɔ saa no wobɛte a ɛnkyɛ dima kum dima yaw dima tɔ wɔn akɔdi awu wɔn akum obi no enti wɔn ahwɛ ma wo sɛ saa batakari fugu no wɔn didi awuo saa edi firi na koya no dem a yɛ ka sɛ obi abatakari nka dem wɔn obi anhyɛ piem wunim na akɔsa asɛm atom wei ɛne nkra ɛyɛ Upper East Regional Community Council wɔn asa wɔn sɛ anka nkyerɛ bɔkɔfo nyina nti mo a mo kuma sɛ mo tie ne bi de kyina wokɔ bɔkɔ na bɛhyɛ batakari aworo sɛ wɔn aworo no kwan so yɛma fa nwura bɔkɔ kurom hɔ nom ɛbrɛ a wɔn no yɛ saa meeting no na Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection wɔn so di dwuma bi ho ntoma a wato ne din 16 days of activism campaign activism ne nyina ne sɛ wɔn hia dɔm paa na wɔn de wɔn ato dawubo bi a wɔn bɔ mu na fo dunsia no ɛyɛ bosumi da ɛtɔ so aduonu enum na kyerɛ sɛ ɛkyina no ɛkɔsi December da ɛtɔ so du ɛna wɔbɔ dawuro no dawubo ne nyinaa ne sɛ awurukadeɛ ɛne atete a yɛde ma fam ɛwɔ dan mu nkwadaa fam ɛwɔ dan mu yɛtoto bi mɔna yɛtwitwa bi twɛteatwa yɛbi leke obi keka bi nom de afiri mu ɛne ho nkora ne ba ne nyinaa ɛyɛ awurukasɛm obi nkae sɛ wɔpɛ no wate aseɛ kyenkyere a wɔbɛwe no na wafɔ so a na wakɔ no ne nyinaa yɛ nneɛma yɛtiatia ama eti no wɔn hwɛ sɛ yɛ nyina yɛ nyae na yɛn sɛ ntwerɛfoɔ no wɔn so srɛ paa yɛmfa yɛ ho nyim ne nti mɔda wuro no bi nti wɔn ɛyɛ Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection no ɛna United Nations Population Fund for na aka bɔ mu a saa dwumadie wɔde aba na Dr. Afisa Zakaria ɛyɛ Chief Director ɔno ɛkasae
educate the general public about the existence of violence against women and girls and the need to do away with that. Yeah. And the violence, when we talk, not just outside, even our homes, we do experience some form of violence. There are times family members may not even know that it is called violence or it is violence against women and girls. So we educate them to understand what stands for violence. An example is child marriage. When a child is not up to the age to marry, you force the child to marry. It's a form of violence against the child. So we educate. It's a campaign to create awareness so that people understand what stands for violence against people generally. But this one we are focusing on women and girls because most of the time they are the victims.
What's the message you have for Ghanaians?
The message we have for Ghanaians is that peace is very key for national development. Once we live together peacefully in our country, in our various regions, districts and homes and communities, we live better. It improves our health, it improves the psychological well-being of a human being, and it helps with development, yes, of our nation. So peace is very critical. Not just at the national level, community level, family level. Yeah, peace is very key.
Na nuachi ana Dr. Afisa Esadi Tuja say hwemu a every domestic violence and victim support unit dops for her ba and say 2016 ekosi 2018 na nkwada aware nkwada awie na ewo fom kakra nti na da obo na akoso pa afedi omu yi omu ni kakra bia pe nkwada awie Ghana ha empani ne wie nkwada ne saa busa omu say woyɛ bɛma pani na wi akwada ate sɛ afaduru utimi gya onai pa etomatu agu so ɛna ɔmo wi wɔ mo na nkwada na nkasa so wi wɔ mo ende sɛ de ayefutu fry mpani wi nkwada ewe kɔtɔ wi na bɛ wi ahwa na gye do nkotata ndi 2019 to 2020 nkwada wi adɔso pa.
We had 233 cases. 2017 increased to 311. 2018 cases declined when 2011, and then the year 2019, it went up to 376. The fire rate in 2016 was 720. 2017, it went to 793. 2018, it declined 637. Then in 2019, it went up. That's 1,285 cases. We need to look at 2018, what we did, such that the indicators improved. Then adult cases in the year 2016, we had 4,190. Then 2017, we had 5,019. 2018, it went down to 2,922. And then 2019, it went up to 6,524. Our researchers, we need to look at this data critically and see what's working in each year so that we can look at the interventions that work better and then do away with what are there.
Ani amuti ye mame Dr. Afisa Zakaria, we Chief Director of Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection.
Na NPP sungo groko amanyoko no mamuni nyina wonum chirofo pani General Secretary wano no onum chirodro tintintin kuya na nsa yamo seti madua ya ode church de ma wonum wono aka se John Bodu kire se yeru akwasi am akwata ha yensusu nhoro no na nsa ntam na otwetwa munne na otwepe yeru aka no fori atako gina brache odefiem genka akọ masika genkwa budget wo wieye ana ebabeto odwase yeru kwasi am akwata atintim krata na najo se tobu to awudu nyina o manga nam yantutum brambra machire yenya ho sikatua ni sikaje ni ade yagunu nyina Ghana for do no akasa e dia fa se papa ne pre no pa wo prega wa preate ni ade na John Bodu kire se papa ni oye ye ne kwanso a ma ye nhoro papa no na ni oye no eyo pa yintie
technically no the speaker was right so na parliament na United Rana parliament na eleyi Emrani Efio Anarewa na dia minister no so yeah no and also right because yeah now she said no close no you be here to have so I'm not directive to talk about it and or to put one also operationalization of the plan and all regularizing. When you sound confusing now, it is because Omo Moti Wanda so Omo red business no so like say you tia we are now so meeting no suspected. Na sabi speak about I don't know no cuz I make them on the it is possible. Say we go to the house. And then we are one feet the button. 37 to go see. No matter na on the Sikaro.
Ha semo mo fanche se duru ba bia ne no tito musa yo John Bodu na yete ne kan pipi amanyuko mamunu nyina onum chirofo pani o kire se yera aban kings for smana baben won se won so oru akwasi am akwata be se yese tobut no yantutum sika je yenjaye no yera aban baben be kire se eni ono oswafo ni tumim so yese enti ono yewura bamba ben ye oye mrase ojefie mu achame ne so se uru akwasi am akwata won kwotwe ni gina ya wosi ya no ensensen eno na John Bodu di okan de mo amote ensem fata kura se me se tie kire enti eno di odima speaker yewura bamba ben na mote ye no
ene dankwa institute mpanifo etnase said omotaye na omo ankasa omo officer wo cantonment ho no enkran na executive director Emma womo Dr. Antoinette Tibo Dako eno de betu bia say wo mo ankasa na trase ya hunu se Ghana ha if you wura nom dodo na business wo mo ya ne se wo de dan ma han na wo gi sika na wo de gu botum bafu no kwa na odi na ade wo mo de ama afi bia je na wo de ma bo na me de oba ha me dan afi ba ko na me de oba na mfinhia mienu na wo mo je wo mo tua kapre ma aban ene no nye wo sa aban age to efiri so enti se wo han wo de dan ma han a wo fie wura no ya wo de ama han no sika de pakro betua no wo so tua ho to na de ma aban te bi advance no wo je 20 million advance ha se bi 2 years ana 1 year sa 20 million no 2000 Ghana cedis na wo so tua ho tax eto na wo de ma aban eto no so munim se eto ne de oman no eto no se ya akese a ana bua pa eto akese de ye wo eti no we eto sika to no waka no ye ntua ma aban
se aka ma se baby na perform se se perform me na ye be den ya hwe ya landlord on Jesus Christ ye fa the right tax e ko ya ka se to me entry check kan e be fa so me ya hwe se landlord e ko ko di sika o de dia e be pa man so e be no
na enu akire Dr. Antoinette Amanso na o chese o kanfo aban biem se o de eto kakra aba beto eye momo ni sa busuafo no so eye electronic tax no aban ayade na ba bi aban hwe kura free se momo no se dako oji free 100 Ghana ekwa na ebete wo no eye sanso obi wono ma otimi se na obi 10 cedis 5 cedis eno kote ho anye yie emom free 100 Ghana ekwa de na chese di pakro ne momia kakra otu eye yie na sa tro ne de eto nkro eto nketenkete eno de eto nketenkete na ese aban yesa pa
akasakasa bebree aba wɔyɛ yi the economy ɛkasa yɛ kan fo so wa bɔ mo ni so bɛ sɛ nyafo ɔmo a ma ketia ne ɔmo sɛ ka ɛwɔ fɛm kakra no ɛfa 100 yo ha ɛkɔ bɛ kita no na ba na kasa me hwa me ni 6 that national tax in fee or let me in fee bɛ sansa kyerɛ ma sɛ bɔ kɛse bi a ɛhɔ no yɛ betumi asa sigora yi ebi a efi so we are for the next level. And we do the highest level of transaction and use to everyone. Now, you just said the apparent for the woman. Near share a free other African countries are all twice over yesterday. Let's just say, whether you know, no more GDP, I'm calling to tell you something. It's yes, and yes, the entire say yes, the day. To me, I can call my house. It's a hundred years out, I said, Fred, and for 5 from stakeholders, normally we ending the interested in the let's see a kind system, and the deep kind of beauty of financial services diary. And you're having a year and to see this year. It's a month for every green cassette, the next in fact, the affiliate Baku said, airport meeting answer. By airport meeting. Now, I want to kind of consultation with Green and Sana for this staff. Your relationship is standing about the Yenina boom,
and you're Muti, Dr. Antoinette Tsibu Dakon, or Executive Director, Emma Dankwa Institute, na a trohwasem. Na waka no said the minimum etrono etro de nitria na ya na den nanso yetimi tria eye de ye oman ye to de eye oman yie eto nketenkete o se eto nkuro o se eto akese akese o emu bia ebo oman chechire pa na ye kotie no
Olesh
over ana meboa eto de
ye eto ne de nwino oman
se you say Professor Mesba na ono ope big taxes ope to akese akese to akese na no ope
yo
tax one sound na me ka ho tax na ye ka ho asa
dia de chichiro oman
na de chichiro oman na to de e o ba bi eye to no bi wana ya akese
ya akese nso aya ne ha adwen
na ha
yes ani tua ya
so ya na akono ma oman no oman pani no no de abande ya akono ma no wa utua na ye o ya de to de akese a eye de chiro oman yi Papa, vam come and say.
Oh, this. You're great. What can I say? I assume, sir. Mampenino or de bane de twaka si na akono man.
Yes. Akono pa.
Yeah, to
me one of my Tony Maswa, and many crazy want to say was also shaky say. Twaka say, we say, and yeah, that twaka say,
and your Benifono Muhuna Manu. Visa akono de baby boom, no ya ne doso. Yanko yanim na ura David Opon, one officer in charge of sanitation, Swami Municipal Assembly. Na the Sadian or D2 which him say Greater Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly no Adaroma, and nay Yankro Partum. Abanshi share your diaba my muni na say a babu one will be a timia janabia, ewa natana ye ni fie, and baby or 1 year dientino, abiding wajim, ya, oh, we near maso, na one ankra fie rafo, near day took a sena quani or bevaso, na janabia timia doso, ewa fia would do muna. Enkonko basa enwumre obi bedi die wie na afie be ka no no kire otwa akwansiri ba miensa na wakwa ko obi pono kokoko mba achew mamba bi nyamu ye ni ade wo se nei obi a momoden no mo mfa ne hunyim na agyanan bia mu wo hawo ye wonom no yentimi enyi fafro titiru Greater Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly fi se de Kumasi Kropon city pa na se agyanan bia ho nsam ekwa atwe Kumasi ahonidie enwie payo
Jumedie no ewobra ebetwam eni ho afebo emmoa na Ghana ban ede boain enti no ebreda so na nam se breda so enti no ewo se efie bia toilet nim bia tutumrika ba se de be ya ebre no enkoduru ne enka se ade no etwam so a aban sika na watua na da so na ka ede boa no eni ho bie mu mawo enti so kobasa wo ye toilet a unya sa amoa no wanka sa wodi wa usika na be ye toilet ni nyina a ebo no so eden enti sa abre ye eneye ebra ewose ubia de ne ho jim na oye ne de fefefe kama no nya toilet no nko a adwumadie no ensuo san aka ho a ye friend water component sa water component no efia ewo municipal ya mabobo so nyina mu a omu ni nsuo no omo so wo akwanya se ye connect omu nsuo a ye Ghana water no ede ma omo na omu tue sika kuma bi mo omu di kan eba ye betrocho omu din no ewo enkronkro kronom ene ebreman ne soame ne makro ene nkro na keka kan ho nyina me no kasa sesi a contractors no wo ho a omugu adwuma nso agidigidi omu si toilet no ema omanfo a uhu ni mfoni no a ene se de omu asi aye no no a wa wani beje ho
Ra David Opon a officer in charge of sanitation Swami Municipal Assembly wono ana yatene nka osro manfo sa adaro ma ban no atu anamon ya sikabida so enti se odi hu bewura mu a ne awu betu ane kakra bi ebre ni twam di a eduro na so pese otu agya na bia ne ade no ho ka ne nyina no wa na abefanti yemfa kwanya no edo no na yemfa ho nhyem
na owura eko sego Bono is regional manager driver and vehicle licensing authority DVLA adwumaku no one essential for ne adroba for hia e wotachiman amakasa kira akoso ho no de beto omanim se osra adroba for edru bronya se ya obi akoforo ka na ne yemu hyehye no okwa aba na ne yemu hyehye no esa se adroba for di mirika hwi na bronya na eba no me ye wado na matemeka ahomache ohia se kukuru kekere pin popi sa de hwehwa mram pam o se obi ka ne mirika tentene so de kokora no enkwanhia besa ba eti wosre adroba for no muntu bo ase na wo ya dan bronya na ebedi awie ye di wie foforo besa ba enye nenkwa ne nenkwa nti ne yenkoso a eti no ora eko sego cautions motorist against overspeeding no ena wo ka che wo se adroba for mo hwe yie na afi no mo tram so na mo kaka na mo ne apasinya fo ne ntem no enwo pa na se de be ya ebetimi aboa na bibia betimi akoso ye e de ama wo mo no wonhwe headline ye pa wonhwe eyi ni ye no na ebetimi aboa na no achi no na ode kama ya kwantufo so yeso atibie na ya kwantufo de okakire pen yemu bebre traka mu a mafo ga ne pele yanka ya nuntum ka ko ba kora obi amusa ne boda ezo oteka mu a oh kana aye apolache kana ntumi ka say driver ana auto hwe aso sa sino na kakra wa ye pentema kwa akwa ye adwuma ye kwasa abazisi ye nese minim se akura kama amfa njina aka be se no obi amfuri se wo de omuni udada kwan se wo de sa na wote driver ma ho so kakra onu de si ya no oba ba akoso aye ene de ya ba kwan o si enu ne e kra de mo akura kama frɛ me ba ma wo de aduane si so minim se me kwa akodu anu aduane na hwɛ de obi ti ha wo ya ye ko ba bie ka bi kra na sa ye ho a wo koi driver we de o ti hwɛ aso o mayo sa apese ya forse am kama no ntum na adoba fo na fo munya sa nko na mo so wo munya on be kontem ba do kontem so anye ye nya nkwa ene o mo de namom na adoba fo no ko nya na kontufo no bi so ho hipa ubo wanse ba kwa temu ho droba megunsuo ugira ma na ko no kakra ba droba me jam nan eti wo gunu so no na nan nya maayo ho ka uja bo ma na kenu ano no ne nyina no mu dile saa eno so nye ye ma droba na fa na dwene ne nyansa ne mpa ibo nya fa ta na chi na koda ke hwese betimanya omo ane no na so prisi ye ya ama Korea so baya sa
eto kesi bia beto ne so ama ne ma brisi ya ama Korea so baya sa ene am se kire se ko jigaman kire isi yanko yanimu ai na yamfa nkonko piem ewo techima atifi mansiri no emu ya kire techima North District ewo bono mantam na se bono pu mantam no emu na honum na pani ya wo hwe akire se kwankyerefo ehwe apomdin sam so akire acting director of health ani Owura Alfred Ampofo wodi afutu sam ni adesrede atudwa na okirim se ye bedi bronyan se de nkrofo betu abomu afemfam adofo ni ade ne se de esi ebebo ape so abechi so ni ade no nya agrokra na enso ma ye remfi se coronavirus yaroremfo no da so a ene enete yare no nyanko eba ye no wo ba setena pa no wodi wo manga na nya di wiase ni adasa nyina nya na de betimi aboa ne so domfo adawro masabre ye nya mpane anu aduro ya ye wo wonti adesrede ne afutu se woni a waye wa adwe se mpane no wonwo no omo modin konko wo mu di ye nkoso a na ye nwo mpane no na ne betimi aboa ama ya bo ye ho ban afri yare no ho ne se ebi chi umpa a mo anto ananom wonse do wa kirim se ono na tena yebne reporter mo wonum nipa no be se o mo bupan aduonum miensa 53% wonum awo empane no a woni akanso wogusua esre se mamuni nyina obi anwo ne coronavirus yare no empane ni bi
If you walk first one in cast the number on the second one. If you are first one now, I blew 1 month and then the sense Abiano, Untrana Mono, Yashe, the one near the Bia Company. So the health center now the health facility walk Kishina no Tebia a center, I won't pay in Pio. Ofa in Chubodoma, Ubatuodon Health Center, Miambia Kamwa, the Japanese Bia. To be our first one, Bia Kohana, so near the Bio one swap with the again Bia. So akwenyama hawo na so far the hour second business no ya 2820 just say akwenya akwan e dey dimpa because dimpa already can first one 21000 then we go 2820 and now second dose the second dose no omo ma woni ni na be na so say omo nti sila no transfer obi a wawa edibusumi bia no obra so ni won second one sisi a yo he you active case active case be last month in one active case you so test na nyame adum em say we crash here say shena bayane apugagement gaba no ebwa start say COVID-19 padi am I moving na COVID-19 yare la ko from you ha your last case in here be 1 month in your case you so here test na so in your case you see are the active case one there is some say yare ko dey you have this amount for the ko so abode you say you ko so ni share no so yenko yensa infa alcohol na yenti na bedia
yo enti na futu atoso miru ya odeto aso enno yenko so ani ni hihye ne so kata no akata hwene nose mask ne yenko so ana yenhye yenko so ahoro ensabra no bra no a ne ade na yentete yentem vise eno ne hihye ya yede ko coronavirus yare remfo no
yo for Mobaka and saying procedure Jumokono and Pimo see the Dr. George Akufo Dampare Eton and Safran Yamason Fekwa Hodwa Yawano Emum Penifono Mushia Nani na Yetiawa said a beya and come Shahodwa as well for Bisha a deep for Bisha a baby assay a desakasaka beba or menumono now one pesa a betua so Nyame Casa Cherawa na was on a son so ye said or dear bano and kofa Dibiama dear Commissia Yukrudia na de Macru eya ankrankra fama ankrankra no enkogina badwa mkoka eya omamunu de anyina fama na obi wonu ma na nkomhye no edi se mebaye no fa nipa ba akopɛ ho eso edifo nkonipa no nkoka nkyere no no magina radio so aka na wiase nyina no mate ɛna omobobo so na sabre no Reverend Isaac Osubempa wantima ankobi ombeka Reverend Isaac Osubempa ono ene ne nkrofo ekɔ sempakani Patricia Oduro Krante honom agrada ho ya omo yesa kombe mafia no pa moti de si ya de che Osubempa ne nkrofo na ese kura oda so case ya odi ho akɔne abɛn na akɔba sɛ wo mahwia sɛ ka wo metimi ahia Dr. George Akufo Dampare and Reverend Isaac Osubempa wo metimi ahia 101 no madi nkomo bi afedi omuguso mototo na ebre nya maye kura mo munhia ye no video bi ni nam ye Instagram ne eniema hodo bebre ne na social media hodo ya Dr. George Akufo Dampare IGP and Reverend Isaac Osubempa wo makwa kohia ya je se wo mudi nkomo pa nyagro na video na mu no Prophet Elisha Salifo so ka ho bi se nya babia se DCOP Nathan Kofi Boache ze kura COP COP Nathan Kofi Boache ne baba wade ase na wo nyina kohia ya wo didi nkomo no eti akoba se ho ne de wo madi nkomo de na so na nyeda nya official one bia ne kire ya IGP ene Reverend Isaac Osubempa ebehia na ebase ya yaka kire mo Oyerepa de ebekwa akotete ho na ya hwense mo beka no yesu ababese mo
na atemuafo wonu so mo nkabomku na wonum edini Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana pani ya mamuni nyina sabre woda wonum ano ene dom no wonum akonkonyasie no de nsem bia babeto monten so a wonum eyi ensem ano ene sen na nsentem ne nam se otemuafo Justice Clemens Honyanuga mampani oti akonwa so amano ahyen akasie mienu ahyen ne boarding SUV na SUV no ye V8 ho SUV V8 baako na afi SUV saloon car so baako ani ade se wonye na ade nti a na ntia ne kire se mampani na adanko Akufo ado ama papa no sa ahyen ne mienu na entie no atora ne na mountain so no na kire se mampani pese Dr. Stephen Opuni Frimpong aya aka Cocoa Board na wona na da no woni owura Sedu Agongo Litovich ho nsensem veterasa ne nsem no abo Cocoa Board ka ya Dr. Stephen Opuni Frimpong ne owura Sedu Agongo num ejina temuo anim e wo sansem ne ho no sabeye na temuafo oti akonya so Justice Clemens Onyanuga wodi onum mienu begum entina mampani ama otemuafo a wote asem ne so ka mienu ni ade na sansemi kokoswa no na George fo no wonum enkabomku no etwa wonum asumti wo ma friends entrofo ahyiamu ama pani ya woda wonum ano wo mu president Justice Henry Kofi ana ode nsam ababeto monten so ayi ano se enti sa da bia da sa ensam ye nam monten so ye busirimuka entro ni kontompo ne dabraba sempa papa na nipa bi na asha da susu ye sa ne ma ka sa ensam sabaye na enei ononyafo Honyanuga ni mudie ya owo ni eja baabi anyame di no aduro no bra wa bra ni modi obo no sabaye na wone atemu adwuma no sabi ya se wontam entina ama omanfo bi ka kasa no se wonum ajaajefo no wonum wa ahyen a yedi mema wonum saa ahyen a ye kan wasemi kura yibia nti di enti ena bema otemu ani bi obekọ so okwa akwaje ahyen bi sa adamode so odi obi betum abra saa ahyen kro no na dwuma a woye emra ne kire se wo so man mani bie no mu obi dada nti enti sa da bia da Justice Clemens Honyanuga wonye ahyen bia mfiri mampani bia ho so odi obi ebegum.
Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana has noted with concern malicious allegations leveled on various social media platforms against certain judges, specifically including Justice Clemens Onyenuga, Justice of the Supreme Court. The accusations, which we find very scandalous, are to the effect that Justice Onyenuga has been given 2 brand new vehicles, one SUV and a saloon car by the President of the Republic through His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Ghana, with the sole purpose of getting Justice Onyenuga to jail 2 persons, namely Dr. Opuni and Seydou Agongo, who are accused persons in a case being tried by Justice Onyenuga as an additional High Court judge. The association, ordinarily, if it had been anything else, we would not have commented on it. But we find this allegation against Justice Onyenuga, who is a member of this association.
President Dema Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana. Ana attending Justice Henry Kofi na no no achire mu no se enya no kure Justice Clemens Onyenuga di say yakwa na nipa bi ebese wonum asai no ana afi no ochire mu se wonum no emra no asa ato wonum emra no ema yema wonum ahyen nti dia na be mu akọ se edi ahyen ne ade abra emra no emye mu bi dada si wo nti no se omu emra no de da ho yemu omu ka ani ade ye de mema wonum nti ebeden so obi fa kire se ade owo bi dada no sabe yesi ye de che no wan pa kire okowia nti omu ntesa nti yentie
to state as an association that the allocation of official duty vehicles or duty post vehicles to Justice Onyenuga or any other judge for that matter has absolutely nothing to do with any case or any number of cases pending before Justice Onyenuga or any other judge for that matter who is allocated official vehicle, which is what we are entitled to by virtue of our appointment as judges, depending upon where you are in the hierarchy. If you have a Supreme Court judge, you are a Supreme Court judge, there's a car that you are entitled to. If you are a Court of Appeal judge, there's a car that you are entitled to. You are a High Court judge, there's a car that you are entitled to. Even the Circuit Court judges have cars that they are entitled to. They are entitled to smaller Toyota Corolla vehicle. Any judge who is allocated any of these vehicles is not being, as it were, being forced to take a certain decision or do a hatchet job for anybody. No judge takes an official vehicle with the sole purpose of putting somebody in prison or doing a hatchet job for anybody else. This allegation, which is being thrown around all over the place on social media, we find extremely malicious, unfounded, and we see it as a deliberate attempt to cause disaffection to Justice Onyenuga in particular, to His Lordship the Chief Justice, and to the judiciary in general.
Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana, President Justice Henry Kofi Nenka Ana Yate no.
Abusa for ye kan for Kel Chaco Two Face e de amamo say obia nya bi onifie na fa twu se e ma o se ehwam o se ya akono onum ya akono pampa wo mu ebekọ kaka wo ho ebekọ ye bidie ya na ye de aye o ene ye de aye paste e fra na Kel Chaco Two Paste Kel Chaco Two Paste Samara for na de aba o hia bia frɛ 0246 86 4798 baby atonton paste bia akwa o se Kel Chaco Two Paste boss eba electricals in the brain nebe bi yewo standing fan ceiling fan yewo ayahodo bebre bobo ahodo bebre ward dear garden hwan dear corridor dear veranda bia ba ko bia dear ba busa awia ne bo a na ache awia na ho oden no solar bulb no nti ye ma off apene no aso enti honum no sabo sawo de ne twetwa odan no ho nyina si a ye dumna no kwa so a be kasa o use plant why ye na use plant now the dead amanfo na so now be to no bo se ba bra ne be to bote de bo aso ofo energy commercial agent nyina tum edum bo se ba building ha ya your prisons round about Paul Segolenso ya ne Sambra Hotel edi anim hwe ana antata akofo dan na musu wo PZ wa free 0541 125339 high sense nie wo mo sing e free busu me da to so aduonu nsia ekosi da to so aduasa 30th November to 26th November to 30th November 4 days to the High Sense 2021 Black Friday big sales. Wow. And then here was a brother to idea. TV, refrigerator, chest freezer, air conditioner, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, iron, busso. Now, one more showroom no doors to be real. East Leguanom, La Paz, North Industrial Area, Achimota Mall, Tema, Kisima, and Cry, Bachona, Dawson. Kumasi Aduma, Yahano Haya Duma, and Abehuye. Would there be any after 0302 550 000? Nazareth Salvation Prayer Ministry name, Fayase and headquarters in one. General Overseer and Apostle Joyce Arthur, Mama Kosuno, Nazareth Salvation Prayer Ministry. And then a fourth journal by question one man. What to the dean said 21 days powerful encounter with God. Ewa Nazareth Temple. Wow. Almost I said that. Yami Adman December that also noon and a year one cop some pipe case be a waha home. Baby a course of life ever for Yase, Bosomche Lake Road, Hona Soran War, Ebe Jasbro, filling station. Wow. You shall say number nuncia near we non cron. The signal so I founder Apostle Joyce Arthur. Mama Coast, no, Mama Coast, you knew papa. I can't be a Apostle Joy, Apostle Nyakon, Reverend Charles, Reverend Paul Mensa, Reverend Ebenezer Bodi, number 4, Winifred, Amabunsu, a Ramanonom, Elder Odum, Abraham, Reverend Ebenezer Bodi, Ave Posha say, Julian Apia, and a presiding elder, Ado Frank, almost say, would you how be a douse to be a bra, Nanyambe do, almost our counseling session. Dua de pia ye counseling na branda ni fia de pia aye special prayers tieni pa na fa hojim wo de ya kan bibia ne afrem mama course na mu mo fa yase ne patam de mate Nazareth Salvation Prayer Center nyame sa wo mame so say mama course mo friend 0242 43 10 73 0242 43 10 73 obajoso na
ya PM Wataid Naturopathic Clinic on Madam Katrina Asabiano. Ye tunyarwase ubu onu anefu na ho na ekese ne ade na obi so onu a junso mu hawo ene namse ade ahodo no afia wo mu nsam aye bebre wo ba ya tenetene nsa wo so aso so ogene nana esro bomoden na kota hido onum na omo amaya de asintu hepatitis afi malaria nom ene hypertension pressure diabetes typhoid nyarwa ya ehu anu oden ene nketo nyina ye mfamfa Madam Catherine Clinic onum na wapiem e wo Madam Catherine Eye Clinic onum ye pa acho ho ene ya de obu onum a ade no churobo mu ohun ni ye on die no ma company limited was ya no mama Yesu wasi ya wusu yesrawa bomoden na ekoho ebeboa ne amahweniwa ya ebeboa mo hu ade ye afi nuru nso ebeboa mani no atimi ate no hu ade ye no ye bema bi pa Madam Catherine Blood Tonic ne enimoja aso ate hwe na ni ase aresa ba bi obutu ahwe na ni ase kyen antunche hu na na ba ye ne nanso no ndi ohia mojaduro pa na ononom na osesi ndadem na ne ahwe afri nso ndoso Bacho no ya Madam Catherine Blood Tonic ni ade ma no anom enti ane se ye frezo 278 626262 0278 626262 na o ma kira kwan no wo Buadi Tech Buadi ko ne ko sa ho yare classic ointment enso enie ya bacho eno no se eba no kro ene pimpons anso awodo ne nantwa propro hoa enie ke kamo bacho ema no candidiasis unya classic ointment ebebo apa wa wonim se de obesi aye no afi kaka ne kaka jayo 9 no sanso anom ne atia the classic ointment 0544791600 0544791600 so and now be free Felicia ba ko sanso benya bia to dum ko na ka ba Mr. ba Fred men se ba promise ba ne ba shops aka benya bia to force for se momra mo amu engagement ne wedding ahodo ya mo ba be ko ne mo amakwa ba nyina yepe ba cho bomodin na ecoforce fo no koko you force material any force you ya de be kwa akodi asa ne ntade ma ne mema mofra ne mpani de nyina wo mse edwa no esi o ma ba betum o matim no adum railway police station no akiri pe ho bambon sam dana kwam wo ba bia aba na niema asa se fa ye mo abenya ba bia ye hu ye kama pa Jesus Central Market Affairs no mo na afei wo ba bia be park o car bambon sam so dana kwan bi baabi a bɛgu nsuo ma ɛhɔ kama nti ɛmɛdi dwa 0244469430 0244469430 so ɛna yɛbɛfrɛ na fosifoɔ nso yɛne onum akɔdi dwa yɛ maame yi si ne kunu ayera maame Mary Konadu Lati ɛna ɔkyerɛ sɛ Buokrom house number A88 Buokrom estate ɛna wɔde akɔda aposifoɔ sɛ ne kunu owura Thomas Lati wafiri fie wɔapɛ ne kyerɛ kwa wɔhu baabi a wɔde nam wɔde mfirinhyia aduonum ɔyɛ nipa tuntum wɔka twi kasa ka ga kasa ɛna wɔka brɔfo kasa nti wani atwa obi so saa da woro mabɔmɔden fa ne ma post station bɛn wa na sɛ frɛ 0274 787258 0274 78 7258 ɛso na nimfoni na da so no no ho mfemfem kama yehu na kyerɛ kwan nti bɔmɔden na wahunu a ma yehu na abusua ɛno ase
saa so na we so yɛpɛ na yehu no yɛfrɛ no kwabena koto so nyamfinsia aduanan tashi enkran na wɔteɛ wɔ nipa tuntum ne tenten no de wɔmoro so ɛna wɔyɛ katwi ɛne enkran kasa ɛda atwa to a wɔn so ɔmo ne biemu no ɔmo ne twia no so wɔ Santase Ghana Apostolic Bible School area ho baabia yɛsɛm sɛ obi ahu papa ya ye kan na asɛm anase obi a ne su ne bante sɛ wɔyɛ ya moma yɛn ya so nte wɔ Oyerepa ha yɛ ana mom frɛ 0242 51 0269 0242 51 0269 yɛbɛgye mo so yɛfa yɛn kaabɔ ɛntoa so
ɛne ɛtataw yɛmfa